You lived in the division manager space for a while. What do you think the core skills were that translated there? Like, what did you learn there that you then applied when you started IFM?
Figuring out how to hire good people. That was probably the first thing. The second thing is making sure that I could retain those people, because it's always a bummer when you don't manage someone well and you lose a good person. I kind of figured out through these personality profiles who would be strong to complement my skill set in maybe my own local operation, but then who had a similar skill set of mine to run other locations that we would open up. And so I think the hiring, the training, the motivating, just retention and relationship techniques, I think those served me very well, because that's exactly what I've used in all these different organizations since, building IFM Restoration with a couple of friends, to, a lot of the consulting I did with companies as well, helping them build out sales and recruiting and comp and, leadership development, all that.
We both know these people that buck structure. And one of the things that I love about you is that you are one of the people in my life that I see as more deliberate than myself. And I really love structure, because inside of structure, I find freedom. When I know that there's a pattern and I know exactly what the pattern is and I can follow steps to get there and get a predictable result, then stress disappears, because I'm not curious about if I'm doing the right thing or not. I can just follow the path, which is kind of what you're saying with the personality profile. Hey, I found the personality that I'm looking for. And maybe it's not perfect, but it's a huge step up. What are these steps that you think about when you're creating these profiles and when you're defining roles? So like you said, you had probably 10 different roles that you were filling at IFM. Where did you start with that? Do you start with a job description? Do you start with a success profile? What does that look like for you?
For me, what I did is I was like, all right, before we even interview you, here's the profile, here's the assessment. Take this so we can see if you fit the job description. And if you don't fit that job description, maybe you fit a different one that we weren't hiring for in that ad, but something about it attracted you.
What I love that you said also is that if you do that for each of your roles, when somebody comes in and they match a profile that they didn't apply for, you're like, oh shit, that's the perfect profile, just not for this.
That's right.
Hey, check this out over here.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really good.
And sometimes, by the way, it's hiring them because they can fit a bunch of different roles, but let's just get them in on this role. Let's just teach them the business, and then we can move them later. So the one thing that we also learned is when you find someone that has one of the what we could categorize, like it's not like good or bad personality. It's like great fit, medium fit, poor fit, right? So you find a great fit. Well, we don't have this right now, but we're gonna bring you on. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get you, like Jim Collins says, get the right people on the bus. You can figure out the seats later.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that, and we just would hire talent.